Hey everybody, Cave Dweller here, hanging in the cave. We're going to do your video today on some reloading tips and tricks, some of the things I do. A while back I did a video, 3 parts of reloading a 22-250. There's a case length trimming in there using a Forster length trimmer. That's what we're going to do, only today I'm going to show you how to turn necks down to uniform thickness on them. 2 different ways of doing it. I'm going to show you both. As I'm doing this, I looked here an hour or 2 ago. I was only like 20 subscribers away from the big 10,000 mark. Thank you guys, each and every last one of you, for hitting that sub button. Let me get that camera over here. I'll show you how this is done. Alright, I got her anchored to the table. First thing you're going to do, there's a very small O-ring. So on the end of your cutter shaft here, that keeps it from pulling out when you're case length trimming. Just take that off. You're going to have to change the pilot. The pilot you use for length trimming is a little bit smaller in diameter so things can go faster. You replace it with one. It's quite a bit longer. That is for turning the neck. A couple other pieces here. The parts that you actually get with the kit, these 3 right here, it's about 36, 38 bucks depending on where you go to. This piece is for controlling the depth. That's going to go on the shaft. There's a piece right here. One end is flat, one end's got a slight angle, and that corresponds with the cutout. If you can see that. In this piece, that small piece of tin fits in a very small, the base has got a milled out area for it to fit right in there. That can go on there, and you can put her back together. The cutting head itself, you can see right here. There's a carbide cutting head right there. Never wear that out. I can't imagine it. That can go on. Remember, this shaft still has your cutting edges for trimming length, so you want to set your depth plenty out. So you do not engage them. We don't want to shorten up our brass, we just want to turn the neck. Okay, there we go. We are going to start, we're going to use 5.56 223. This here stuff, you resize it, and their thinking is when you resize it, you shrink it down, you pull the expander ball back through it. Now the inside of your neck is the diameter that we need to be. So if there's excess brass, where's that at? It has to be on the outside, it's not on the inside. Use that to push that into your collet. When you tighten that down, you get good and snug. Okay, the next thing you want to do, they are tight. You want to push her in there. And you might need some light to do this. That little cutting head, just before you hit the shoulder. We're cutting necks, we're not cutting shoulders. Then you can take this right here, bottom that out, push that up. I think that takes a small one. Hope we got to get around the other one. Tighten that down. Now we're going in and out. We are not going to engage our cutting to cut length, and our cutting is not going to touch the shoulder. That is so small in there I don't think I can get a picture of it, but next thing, we adjust the depth of cut. There's a screw here that drives the carbide cutter in and out when we get it set. There's a lock screw here that tightens everything up, nothing can move. We're going to be 100% repeatable. I've taken a mic on a lot of these things. 10/1000ths of an inch thick on the neck is the thinnest I've seen on anything. They go anywhere from 11 to 13. I had one that was 14/1000ths. That's quite a bit. So we're going to trim them down. We're going to take the high side off. We're going to leave that low side at 10,000. All you got to do is start monkeying with it. And we're going to sacrifice maybe a few of these because you really can't measure till afterward. All right. I'm cutting. I can see that. This here depth control, what I was talking about. We're going to start screwing that out as we're turning. And you get a perfect and they are snug on there. Well, that ain't bad. I probably got 60% of that has been reamed off. The other 40% has not been touched. I don't know if you can see that very good or not, but our thin side is 10/1000ths on this one in particular, and we're 10/1000ths right there on the side we just shaved. That's pretty lucky when you do it on the first shot, huh? There's probably a classic case right there. 50% of your neck was over thickness, or 50% of your neck was thin. But anyway, it is very, very close to uniform thickness through the entire neck. It's going to increase your release for consistency. Very easy to do. Takes a little time. It's not horrible. It's just another step in reloading. If you want that ace up your sleeve, something you might want to look into. Not for everybody. Like most things, setup takes as long as the actual cutting. It takes longer than the actual cutting. That's all there is to it. Trimming the outside of the neck. So let me tear this down. I'm going to show you the other way to do it. We're going to ream the inside. Okay, we got it tore back down again. We're going to do the inside necks. We're going to use 243. That's one I've been playing with here lately. Furnace just kicked in. Got some background noise. Sorry about that. On the outside neck, you resize the case, and that puts the excess metal on the outside. When you're turning the inside, you want a fired case. It's blown out to fit the chamber of your rifle. Where's the excess has to be? It has to be on the inside because the outside is perfectly round. That's the philosophy. What they want, easy test. Just if it will grab a bullet. This is Hornady brass. It's super consistent. Some of the probably as good as anything I've ever picked up that I've ever played with in 45 years doing that. Some of them just have a little bit. And the philosophy of turning is to give that bullet no resistance. Once it's blowed and it starts moving, it's got a perfect release on every shot. Consistency is accuracy. What we're going to use is a very little reamer. Like I said, with the neck turning, the outside, that unit was about 36, 38 bucks, I think. It's a little bitty reamer. And it is 243, 6mm only. So, 26 bucks for this thing. If you got a lot of different calibers, there's a flat that lines up with the set screw. Lock it in there. This is by far the easiest of the two. You just use Pushing on here, push it into your collet grip, and that's all it takes right there. You do want to set your depth control. So the length, the cutting edges for the length do not engage. We don't want to trim length, we're just trimming necks. That's all there is to it right there. Very, very little removed. Like remember on the other ones we're removing 3/3 of an inch maybe on the high side, couple thousand, 3,000, maybe 4 on an extreme example. Very, very, very little cutting on them. That's it. That's how you run this bad boy. Very simple. This here, if you got lots and lots and lots to do, high volume, trimming the inside is obviously quicker, faster, easier. Myself, I prefer doing the outside. I'd like to have the neck the same diameter regardless. This stuff here, modern manufacturing, that's what we can thank for brass that's like that. I mic'd a few of these, probably a dozen of them. They run about 14 thousandths, 15 thousandths consistently. I had one that was 17 thousandths. Very, very consistent stuff. You guys that follow me, we're doing 243. Remember a while back I did a bedding video for 243 Tika. Waiting for a 22 caliber to show up. Never did. So I said the heck with it, I bedded it. To get it to shoot, it would shoot like this without a suppressor on it. I screwed the suppressor on it, went to heck. Well, I glass bedded it, I finally got it out. That's 5 shots at 765,000 suppressed. Now I can start playing with load development, lengthen it, change a little bit. We'll get that baby down to being a 1/2 inch gun, 5 shots, and I think I'll have a good long ranger. Anyway, that is the Forster trimming unit. Had it a long, long time. It really works good. I'm glad I own it. Thanks a lot, folks.